So anyways, to make a long story short, found the story out of Florida, of the Emerald Coast. We're back in Florida.
There we go.
Now get this. There is a woman out there, Margaret Barbary. She's the founder of a citizens group called Protect Our Children. Guess where this is going? Her son went to a local library and he checked out a manga book, these Japanese comic book type of books.
Wow. Her kid is actually using the library?
Exactly. Her kid's in the library.
Okay.
She said that the book he had was graphic and shocking. She said her son lost his mind when he found this book. She says he's now in a home for extensive therapy. Kid you not.
Whoa.
Right now, put it in manga, Margaret Barbary. You'll find this story. It's making the rounds. She said her son checked out a manga book, a Japanese comic book. He is now in a home for extensive therapy. He literally lost his mind. Now, this woman is serious. You can't see this picture. She's at a city council meeting right now. That's what this picture is. She actually...
Protect our children.
Exactly. She actually approached the city council and asked them to remove manga books from the library. Now, this is kind of scary. This is kind of scary. Several months ago, Barbary circulated a petition. She got 226 signatures of citizens protesting the availability of manga.
Wow.
Now, she was confused. She was referring to it as anime, so she obviously doesn't know what she's talking about because anime is a film. Anime is not even a book, so we already know she's really doesn't know what she's talking about. Now,
I had an aunt named Anime.
You did?
Yeah.
Anime?
Oh, that was Tina Turner's real name, too. Anime Bullet. Sorry, maybe she was talking about that.
So, yeah, maybe, and, you know, if talk about shocking, you bring up Tina Turner. I mean, that's a shocking story, but that would be a story I would tell my kid to teach them a life lesson about this is what happens. Bad things happen and men shouldn't hit women. What better story than to tell than the Tina Turner story to have a conversation with the kid about?
Yeah, or the kid might spark the conversation with you. Hey, Mom, look at this book that I got from the library. What's this all about?
Exactly.
Teaching moment there.
And who knows what's in this book, but I wanted to bring this up. Crazy stuff. She got 226 signatures, which she presented to the city council. This is a small community. I'm assuming it's called Crestview. Now he did get an adult version of the genre, which is going to be a little bit more racy.
Okay.
Now, when you're in a public library, it's not just for kids. That's just part of being in a library. You know, and a lot of libraries do kind of put stuff in the back section. They're claiming that they did, and the kid went snooping around.
Sure.
Now, I know what I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I would be snooping around. I'd go to the dictionary, look up all the bad words.
Yes, if you,
exactly. We've
I
all
used
done
to work
that.
at the library. I used to go into the section that had the Joy of Sex book, so I could just flip through that. I mean, and that was sneaking around then. So, it wasn't about not being able to find it or having access to it. I literally searched it out. Literally.
Exactly. Now, the crazy thing is, and this is just something about petitions. I see this stuff all the time in New York, and I never sign a petition. I'm not, I have certain things that I care about, but I'm not going to be approached by somebody with an issue and then all of a sudden
clipboard.
I'm not putting my name on a clipboard. She got 226 signatures, presents this at the city council meeting in Clearview, trying to get all manga books removed from a public library. And people came back that were on this petition list, which, by the way, when you sign a petition, for anybody that's confused, that's public knowledge.
Yeah.
All petitions get turned over. And that's not secret. Your email address, all of that stuff is public knowledge. You can do Google searches. I've seen people's names online because they signed off on a city ordinance or what have you. They contacted some of the people who showed up on this petition list. She was telling individuals, they claim that she wanted pornography removed from the library. So that we got this craziness going on. I just wanted to bring this up, that even in this day and age, you think of this stuff. This stories like this will continue and continue and continue. If my child was at a public library, I think I would be very, very happy. Kids don't even go to libraries anymore. Kids don't even read books.
Yeah.
If my kid's at the library,
I'm doing something
I'm
right.
going to be darn proud.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get their hands on a comic book that has some racy content, I'm going to speak to them about it. I'm going to find out, A, what were you doing back in the adult section?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take a look at the book and have a conversation.
That's right.
Now, if the kid's already into this stuff, chances are he needs to have the conversation. I don't know what this
opportunity.
extensive therapy is about. I've read some racy material in my life. I've looked at some magazines that I shouldn't have.
You never got shipped off to the funny farm?
Didn't get shipped off to the funny farm. I've done my Google searches. I've seen lots of crazy things, as everybody has out there.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now. I'm not in the funny farm.
Yeah, it sounded like she wanted, like, I know this is going to sound bad, but like a babysitter or something. Like, what are you talking about? Did you just want a little break, Miss Barbary? It's not the way to go about doing it.
Well, we're going to follow this story, and I'm going to be very angry if they even mess with public libraries. You can't do anything. Speaking about everything being legislated, everything's against the law in this day and age. So very sad. Well, we're coming up on the end of the show. Let me do my favorite section. Let's do this. Turn that up.
What the?
Now, crazy story.
Yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of library, let's talk about the Crypt Keeper. I don't know if y'all heard about this. Wyalusing, Pennsylvania, a 91-year-old woman was found living with the corpses of her husband and twin sister. They were on the couch. She's 91 years old. People were investigating this. They go over there. She said she was lonely, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she wanted to continue talking to them. She wanted to see them while she was speaking to them.
She also had claustrophobia.
She did, and didn't want them in a casket. She was afraid for them. So she
Exactly.
embalmed them and put them on separate a couch in her love seat in her own house.
You heard this. Embalmed bodies on the couch and love seat. She was lonely and claustrophobic. Didn't want them to be claustrophobic as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
But now she may be able to keep them in her presence if she's able to construct a crypt
exactly
on her property.
Exactly. So for all you lonely people out there who also have claustrophobia,
And
just put a little crypt in the
a
backyard.
little cement, a little mortar in the backyard on the side of the garage. Hey.
Exactly. You know, and then we can bring back one of my favorite characters. I should have. You know who I'm talking about.
HBO man.
Exactly,
Oh,
the
yes.
HBO man. Everybody out there knows who I'm
Oh,
talking
yes.
about. Go to YouTube right now when you're joining the Unfiltered show. Type in Tales of the Crypt, HBO.
Oh my god.
You will see the most comical yet horrifying
Yes.
little creature. I don't remember his name.
I don't need. Was it the Crypt Keeper?
The Crypt Keeper, maybe?
Yeah.
The Crypt
Yeah,
Keeper.
what was it?
Build yourself a crypt, get you a little Crypt Keeper, and then you can embalm all the bodies you want and keep them in the backyard. Now,
That's funny.
what happened? Speaking about kids, snake in a locker. I heard about snakes on a
Yeah,
plane.
no, janitor found a 3-foot python in a locker. After hours, he was the
These
custodian.
kids, see, Mrs. Barbary, this is what you should
Yeah.
be scared about. Not a not a manga book. When the kid goes
boa
out and gets
constrictor,
a boa
okay?
constrictor and a python and puts it in their locker, now that's a problem.
There you go. He was cleaning out a locker at a Massachusetts high school. He looked down and he saw the snake like coiling around his feet. Didn't think it was real. At first, in fact, he even thought it was a little clutch purse. Until he went down to reach it, then he thought, oh, it's a plastic snake. Then it started slithering away. But where did this come from? How
Okay.
did this happen?
A python in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
That terrifies me first. Secondly, I'm a little bit concerned that the janitor is actually inside the students' lockers cleaning them. But I guess, a lot of, kids don't always have rights. Third, the fact that you would see a 3-foot python,
3 feet.
even if it was coiled up, but somehow confuse that with a coin purse, which when I
Yeah.
see a coin purse that's like 3 inches by 3 inches, even if it was one of these Louis Vuitton leather snake
That's what it was.
python things.
He thought it was one of the faux rattlesnake bags. Or something.
I think the
There you
janitor
go.
was doing some of
Well,
that
this cleaning
down in the little
supplies. He's
cleaning
probably
room.
huffing.
Oh, huffing.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
Janitors don't make that much money, so none of that. But they say if you put some Windex and
In a bag
some
with a
rags,
oh,
exactly,
whoa.
and breathe in and out real fast, you can feel really good. Not that I would know. I've just kind of heard that.
I'll see a rattlesnake on the floor.
You know what?
Hmm.
I think this janitor needs some of this.
Some words of wisdom.
Do it real quick.
If you see something slithering down by your feet, it's not a pocketbook. It's a snake. Run.
Exactly. That is the word of wisdom. If something's slithering, get the hell away.
Move yourself out of the way.
Well, we got to take off. Remember to tune in on Friday.
Yes.
Scenesters are back.
That's right.
Check in with them.
We'll set your weekend off right with a little Unfiltered from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's right. I'm Little Earn.
And I'm Kaine.
And we are Unfiltered.